All right, guys, and welcome back to 234 En La Casa. I will bring you all over and show you the ingredients that you're going to need for the chicken tetrazzini. And again, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. All right, see you back here in a minute. Okay, guys, so I've got some chicken here. It's chicken breast. There's some wings in here too. So I'm going to rinse these off and I'm just going to bake them. Normally when I'm making chicken tetrazzini, I will boil my white meat chicken. But since this has skin on, I'm just going to bake it and I have my casserole dish here. I'm going to put my oven on at 350. And so let me go over and rinse the chicken off, and then I'll show you how I'm gonna season the chicken for the chicken tetrazzini. All right, guys, so I've got the chicken rinsed off, got my hands washed, and so I'm just gonna place the chicken breasts in this casserole dish. And like I said, there's some wings in here too, but I'm gonna probably fry those or something. I'm not gonna bake those for the chicken tetrazzini. And the way that I'm gonna season this the chicken, you can also use it for chicken spaghetti as well. This is gonna be quite a lot of chicken for chicken tetrazzini, so I'm gonna use some of it for the tetrazzini and some of it for chicken spaghetti. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna use some pink Himalayan sea salt to season the chicken, and I'm going to apply that pretty liberally. And then I'm going to use some ground white pepper. Okay. And then this is the pink Himalayan sea salt, just so you can see. And then I'm going to use some of my chicken base. Let me get it out of the fridge. Okay, I'm going to use some chicken base, and I'm going to put it in hot water and add it as well, because normally when I'm baking chicken, when I'm boiling my chicken for chicken tetrazzini, I boil it in with chicken base in it. So this, I'm just gonna bake it with the chicken base, okay? And then this is some diced onion. I'm gonna go ahead and get this added, and it's just for seasoning. And then I'll add some celery as well, okay? So I'm just gonna boil some water. This is about 2 cups of water. I'll add my chicken base to that and then add it to the chicken. I'm gonna get that water boiling, and I'll bring you all back when it's boiling and I've added the chicken base. Okay, guys, so I have added the celery and the bell pepper to the baked chicken, and this is the chicken base and water boiled together, and I'll show you all. I think I've shown you all this before, the chicken base. And I just put about a teaspoon in there with the 2 cups of water, and I added a little bit more water to it. It's probably more like 2.5 cups. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that added over here with this chicken. And I'm just gonna spoon it over. And then I'll put some foil on top of this chicken and place it in the oven at 350 and just bake it until it's done, okay? And I was gonna add some butter to this, but I'm not, because the chicken base, it's just a condensed down version of chicken, and it's got some oils in it or what have you, so that's gonna be enough. Plus the skin on the chicken, baking and cooking, is gonna create some oils as well, just to keep the chicken very moist, okay? Because we don't want it to dry out in the oven. All right, so I'm gonna get this spooned over, and I'll just show you how I'm doing it just here, and then I'll do the rest off camera. I'm just spooning it in here on the sides. And normally I would wait for this base to cool off, because, you know, I don't want my chicken to bake unevenly or what have you. But I have to leave here in a minute, so I'm just gonna go ahead and add this really quick. Okay, and so that's how you're gonna get it added. Okay, guys, so the chicken is ready, and I'm getting it out of the oven. And so I'm gonna get it out of the oven, and we're gonna take the chicken off the bone for the chicken tetrazzini, okay? And I'm gonna bring you all down closer so you can see how the chicken looks now that it's done. So go ahead and take this foil off. Okay, and so the chicken is done. And all I'm gonna do is grab a fork and just start taking it off of the bone. And for the chicken tetrazzini, I'm gonna use the broth as well as the base for the chicken tetrazzini sauce. Okay, so you'll want to, I'm sorry, my mind is, I don't know what's going on with my mind today. You'll want to reserve the broth for your chicken tetrazzini, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and start taking it off of the bone, and it should be fairly easy. You don't want to take the skin. You don't need the skin. You just want the white part of the chicken and take that off the bone, okay? So I'll take some of it off just to show you what it's going to be looking like. And since I'm going to be reserving broth, I'm just going to stick my chicken back into the broth, okay? And normally my bones and things like that, I'll just go ahead and place them on the foil. I know some people will keep their bones for soups and things like that because you can use bones to season your a soup. Okay, so you see how I'm doing that. And so that's what you're going to do throughout the entire process of taking the chicken off of the bone. You don't want any gristle or anything like that. There's nothing kind of worse than, well, some people enjoy it, but I never did, you know, biting down into some dressing or soup or casserole and it's got gristle in it. It wasn't a favorite of mine, but of course some people enjoy that. I don't personally, but and so I try to get all of that kind of stuff out of when I'm taking my chicken off the bone. Okay, and so then I will bring you all back when I've taken all this chicken off the bone. Okay guys, so I've got all the chicken taken off the bone and I've done one pass through, just checking to make sure that I don't have any gristle or bones still in here. And I'll probably do another pass through just to make sure. But I have everything divided out over here. I don't know if you can see, but I'll move the chicken over. Divided out with bone, gristle, and then I've got some skin and some chicken, some of the chicken meat over here. And I'm gonna, this is just an aside. I'm going to put this in my pot for my dogs. So I'll just add that to their dog meat. We keep, like I've done a video on that before, where we keep their dog meat in a pot and just, you know, add meat to it to feed them for dinner and stuff like that. So I'll just add that pile to their pot. And then this, of course, I'm going to throw it out. But like I said before, you know, people do use this kind of stuff to season dressing, broth, soups, all kinds of things. So anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and dispose of all of this and move stuff over, and I'll bring y'all back in just a minute. Okay guys, so I've got the meat separated from the broth, and I'm just creating a roux right here for our cheese sauce for the chicken tetrazzini. And I wanted to show you, this is what the roux looks like afterwards. And I keep this in a container so that when I'm making like macaroni and cheese, the cheese sauce for macaroni and cheese, or another cream-based sauce, I will use a roux, and that's a mix of butter and flour. And so I'm just making some more right here to add to my container. And so if you want to just keep a roux on deck in your in a container, all it is a cup of butter and a cup of all-purpose flour. That's all a roux is. And so you can always get some out and use it to create your, you know, as a thickener for your sauces and things. Okay, so that's what I'm doing here. And so then I'll bring you all back when I'm ready to add the roux to create the cream-based sauce for our chicken tetrazzini. And one other thing, in terms of the roux as well, I know some people use cornstarch and use cornstarch as a thickener for their sauces and things. I prefer not to. I mean, I have used it in the past, but a roux is just more, I just think it gives you a smoother texture for your sauces than cornstarch, and it's a lot of whisking and all that kind of stuff, trying to get that cornstarch incorporated in, and does it, you know, the little bits of flour, you know, little bits of cornstarch and stuff. So that's what I prefer is is just using a roux, but you decide what you want to do. Okay, I just wanted to show you all what your, my hands have flour all over them. What your roux is going to look like once you've added the flour, just so you know that you're on the right path. So this is what it's going to look like, just like this. Okay, so if your roux is looking like this, 1 cup of butter, 1 cup of flour, and then mix together, overheat. This is exactly what it needs to look like. And then you can, this is in a liquefied state. And of course, this is in the solid state, okay? And so I'm just gonna add this roux to this roux because I'm kind of low on it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and add some more to this. And, but I just wanted to let you all know what it looks like once you have it all combined together over heat, okay? All right. Okay, y'all, so this is gonna be our chicken tetrazzini cream sauce. I've put 1/4 cup of the roux that I just made in here. And then I'm going to add the chicken broth to it. That was, you know, the chicken broth from baking the chicken. And this is about maybe 2 cups of chicken broth. Okay, maybe 1.5 cups. And so I'm going to go ahead and turn my eye on. And of course, the little bits in here, that's from the chicken cooking, you know, baking in that broth. So that's just some leftover chicken, you know what I mean, like the meat and stuff like that. And so I'm going to put some pepper in here. And you're supposed to salt and pepper your broth, but I've already salted that broth. And so I'm not going to add any more salt to it. I'm going to taste it later to see if it has enough salt. I don't want to over salt. So, and I'm just going to get this mixed together here. And there's some little bits of chicken in there. It doesn't matter. This is going to be our base for our cream sauce. Okay. And with this cream sauce, we're going to use some milk and some heavy whipping cream. Okay. And so I'm going to bring you all back once this starts thickening. Okay, y'all, so you can tell this has gotten thicker. So I'm going to get some milk out, and I'm using whole milk. So this is what I'm using, whole milk. And I'm going to use about 2 cups of whole milk and get that added to the cream sauce for the chicken tetrazzini. So that's 1 cup. And I don't think I'm going to have quite enough for 2. So I'm going to run some water in this container and shake it up and get some of the sides of the container added. Okay, so I just added some water to this and kind of shook it up. And that looks like that's about a cup. I mean, it looks like about 3/4 cup. So what I'll do to make up that difference is just, because I've got to add a cup of cream, heavy whipping cream, I'll just add 1 1/4 cups of heavy whipping cream to kind of make up for the fact that I didn't have enough milk. And what I might do is do 1 cup of heavy whipping cream and then 1/8 cup of heavy whipping cream and then another 1/8 cup of water to kind of dilute that cream down. That's probably what I'm going to do. Okay, and so this is the heavy whipping cream I'm using. So this is 1 cup of heavy whipping cream. And then that's about 1/8 right there. And I'm going to add about another 1/8 to make it 1/4 of water. All right, there we go. And so you're just going to whisk this together and bring it to, I'm going to put it on medium high heat. And so once this gets going, I'm going to bring you all back and show you what it looks like. Okay, y'all, and one other thing I forgot to add was some garlic. And you can use minced garlic, or, you know, you can do your own, you know, fresh garlic. I'm just going to use the granulated garlic. And that's going to be to taste. I mean, you can use 1/2 teaspoon. You can use a teaspoon. You can use a tablespoon. It's just whatever you want to use, whatever your taste buds, and whatever will make your taste buds dance with delight is how much garlic you want to use, okay? and I forgot to add that. And so I'm going to go ahead and get that added and whisked in. And actually this cream sauce is thickened and pretty much ready. Okay, y'all. And then I just want to show you, I've got my roux added to my container. And so I'm just going to put a lid on that for storage. And I keep mine in the fridge. Okay, so I'm going to put mine in the fridge, and then I'm going to get a pot of water and get the water salted for my for the noodles for this chicken tetrazzini. And like I said, you can either use spaghetti noodles or linguine noodles. And I did go ahead and add some more garlic to the cream sauce. And you're also going to want to add one other thing I forgot to add, which is your parsley. And you can use fresh parsley, or you can use dried parsley. Okay, so I've got that parsley added. Okay, y'all, so our water is coming to a boil. I'm going to put some salt in that water. And you want to make sure you have your oven on 375, because we're going to bake the tetrazzini after, when everything, and you need a casserole dish as well. Okay, all your cheeses and everything, the mozzarella and the Parmesan, are going to go on top of the tetrazzini once it's placed in the casserole. Okay, y'all, so the noodles or pasta's ready. So I have already sprayed my casserole dish. This casserole dish may be too big. I just grabbed one. We'll just see what happens. So there's our pasta. Well, it should be fine. Okay, so there's the pasta. And this is our chicken, and I don't know that I'm going to use all of this chicken. I have some more under another bowl. This isn't all of it, but and normally I would have my chicken mixed into the sauce, but since I baked it instead of boiling it like I normally do, it just separate. So if you do yours, in a sauce pot or whatever, you would just pour yours in from the skillet or from the pot. I'm tired. I'm just very tired. I think I've recorded about 4 videos, so I'm just a little tired. So forgive me. And kind of get it spread out some. And I'm gonna mix this together too once I get the sauce on here. I just kind of wanted to eyeball. And then the rest of this chicken, this is seasoned chicken, so I'm probably just gonna freeze it, put it in like a freezer bag, and just freeze it back for when I want to make some chicken spaghetti or something like that, because I think that's plenty of chicken right there. I think that's plenty. I may add just a little bit more. And so then I'm gonna go ahead and get this sauce added. And I did taste the sauce off camera, and it's really, really good. I just added maybe a fourth of a teaspoon or a pinch of salt, a pinch more salt, and that's it. Because I know that the cheeses that we're going to be adding, the mozzarella and the Parmesan, are salty. And so I just didn't want to add a whole lot of salt. Okay. So I'm going to get this mixed together. And it's loose, but it's going to stiffen up once it's baked, because your noodles are going to soak up a lot of that sauce in the oven as it cooks. Okay, and like I said, do not get concerned about if it was just heavily loose or whatever. I would say add some more noodles, but I'm telling you, this amount of, it's going to get those noodles are going to absorb a lot of that in the oven, because we have about a 20 to 30 minute bake time, so it'll be fine. All right, and then to this, we're going to add our mozzarella, and you can add as much mozzarella as you would like to. This is about 2 cups, I would say. I don't know. I just cut a piece of the mozzarella block and grated it. It's about 2 cups, maybe 3. I'm not sure, but you add as much as you want. It's left up to you, and whatever you enjoy, whatever your family enjoys, or you, or whomever. And then to this, we're gonna add Parmesan. And like I said, if you want to get a block of fresh Parmesan and grate your fresh Parmesan on top, I wish you the best with that, because I mean, I love fresh Parmesan. I think that's an excellent idea. I just don't have any, or else I would be doing the same thing. But I'm just gonna, I have the Kraft in the green container, and so that's what I'm gonna add on top. And that's the mozzarella that I use, that I cut off the block. And then this is the Parmesan cheese that I'm gonna use. And I think when I bought this, Sam's was out of the Kraft. And so I wound up having to get this. This is going to be my first time trying the Sam's brand. All right. And so we're just going to bake this in the oven, like I said, at 375 for about 20 to 30 minutes until the cheese is bubbling. Okay. And we're going to bake it, uncovered. Okay. And if you want to put some parsley on top of this to make it look a certain way, you can. I prefer for mine to look like, to just be white on top, because to me, it gives the distinction of it being something different than a lasagna, or, gives it something that you're like, oh yeah, this is chicken tetrazzini. It has no parsley on top. It's totally white. So I prefer not to put any on there, but you do whatever you want to do. Okay, so we're going to stick this in the oven at 375, like I said, for about 20 to 30 minutes. Okay. I'll bring you all back once it's out of the oven, okay? All right. Okay, guys, I was on the phone with my dad, and so I forgot that the tetrazzini was in the oven, but it only went over by about 5 minutes. So, I jumped up. I was like, oh my God, I forgot about it. So here it is. So I'm sorry. The Parmesan is a little brown. You can see there. Normally it's like, so I left it in there a little bit, like 5 minutes too long. So I apologize, y'all. But, so I'm going to let it rest just here for about 10-15 minutes, and then I'll bring you all back and I'll be able to show you how all of this, like all the noodles and everything, absorbed that broth and all of that, and it was the right amount of noodles and everything. So I'll bring you all back in about 15 minutes, okay? Okay, guys, so it's been about 20 minutes, so I'm gonna go ahead and put some in a little dish here. I actually want to get this part right here where the Parmesan is a little dark. I like it like that. So I'm going to get just a little bit here just to taste. And I wanted to be sure to show you all, if you notice, you see how all that broth is gone. And so it was just the right amount, and I don't want all that cheese. So let me get a knife, because I really don't want, I'm full from, drinking some lemonade, and so I got full from that. But anyway, so that's the darker part of that Parmesan, and I'm gonna eat some of that, and then but you see how all of that broth is pretty much gone. And that's what I was meaning about how it'll soak it up in the oven. But of course it will have, you can notice it's still some in there. But it's not an overage in the amount of broth, okay? And there's probably more broth in the middle too, because it bakes from the outside in. So, but anyway, so I'm going to bring the camera up so you all can see me taste. This is very, very good. I will probably add some crushed red pepper to my own personal bowl. Of course, I won't do that, for my kids, but this is really good. And that Parmesan and the mozzarella cheese just takes it over the top. It's wonderful. One of my daughters is walking by. I'm sure she's hungry. And this is excellent with garlic bread or cheese sticks, cheese bread, or a nice salad. You may not want any bread with yours, but you may want to have a salad with it, or just on its own. Okay. All right. Well, I will see you all next time at 234 En La Casa. And don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I'm sorry, you all, I'm not as bubbly as I'm just I think I need to go to bed. I'm very, very tired. I don't know. I don't quite know why, but I just need to get some rest. And so I will see you all back here tomorrow, sending love to everybody, and see you all next time. Bye.